We live in a world that is just constantly screaming at us, go, go, go. So today, we're going to explore what feels like a pretty radical act of rebellion, doing absolutely nothing. We're talking about lying flat, and we're going to reframe rest not as some kind of laziness, but as a powerful, totally strategic act of self-preservation.
I mean, this message is everywhere, right? The world seems to run on this currency of busyness, where being exhausted is somehow treated like a badge of honor. We're constantly pushed to do more, be more, and definitely sleep less. This right here is the engine of burnout culture.
So while society is shouting for you to keep going, your body is often whispering. And let's be honest, sometimes it's screaming for you to just stop. Learning to actually listen to that internal voice might just be the most important skill you're currently ignoring.
Yeah, we're in this era of burnout. It's all about hyper competition where it seems like everyone's comparing how late they worked or how many cups of coffee they needed just to get through the day. And this relentless pressure, it takes a very real, very physical toll on us. So, does this sound familiar to you? This feeling of constant motion, the sense that if you slow down for even a second, you'll just fall over and get left behind. I want to be clear, this isn't just in your head. It's a physical state of being for so many of us.
Okay, so how exactly is your body protesting? Well, it sends out these signals. Maybe it's that nagging backache that just won't go away. Or, staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. Or that constant low-level hum of anxiety. These aren't just random malfunctions. They are distress signals. Your body is waving a giant red flag telling you that something needs to change.
And that, right there, brings us to this whole idea of lying flat. But let's be really clear about what this means. It is not giving up. It's consciously and intentionally hitting the emergency stop button. Think of it more like a strategic retreat to regroup, repair, and protect your most valuable asset, your health. This isn't laziness, it's wisdom. Okay, but how does this whole repair thing actually work? Well, to get it, we really need to shift our perspective a bit. We've got to stop thinking of your body as some kind of machine and start treating it like a high-priority VIP client.
And this way of thinking it's just so powerful, isn't it? Your body isn't a piece of tech that can run forever. No, it's a VIP client with very real needs. When it tells you it's running on empty, it is absolutely time to listen and schedule some serious downtime for a recharge.
Because let's be real, what happens when we just ignore all these signals? Our internal alarm system gets stuck in the on position. That email from your boss, the looming deadline, these have become the modern-day lions our bodies are trying to escape from. And this means stress hormones like cortisol are just flooding your system, your heart is running a marathon it never signed up for, and your digestive system, it basically just goes on strike.
Okay, so here's the deal. Our bodies basically have two main operating modes. You've got battle mode, which is our fight-or-flight response, run by the sympathetic nervous system. It's absolutely essential for survival, but you just can't live there. Lying flat is all about intentionally switching over to sofa lazy mode, which is run by the parasympathetic system. This is where all the magic happens. It's the rest and digest state where all the crucial repair work gets done. So, the moment you flip that switch into sofa lazy mode, your body just gets to work. Your heart rate finally slows down, your immune cells start running important system updates, your brain performs this deep clean, clearing out all the junk that causes brain fog. See, this isn't laziness, it's essential biological maintenance.
But, this isn't just about the physical stuff. The act of stepping back creates this much-needed quiet space for your mind. It's a chance to find your own compass, especially when you feel like you've been pulled way off course.
I mean, think about it for a second. Why do we get so completely exhausted in the first place? So often, it's because we're hustling to meet someone else's definition of success. We're acting out a script that was written by our parents, or our peers, or social media, and we end up feeling like extras in a story that isn't even ours.
And it's in that quiet space that you can finally ask yourself the first huge question. What do I actually want? Is your internal GPS set to a destination that you chose, or did someone else punch in the coordinates for you?
All right, the second question. It goes even deeper. That constant hum of anxiety, is it truly yours, or is it really just an echo of your fear of what other people will think or say? Lying flat is like a mental unplug, and it allows you to see how much of your stress is actually emotional baggage you've accidentally picked up from others.
And then, finally, there's the third question. What brings you genuine, lasting joy?
I'm not talking about that quick thrill you get after a frantic burst of work, but the simple, sustainable happiness that might come from, a cup of tea or reading a good book. This is all about rediscovering your own sources of fuel.
Once you start finding these answers, it gives you the power to do something that is, honestly, incredibly difficult in our culture: to say no. To say no to the commitments that only drain you. To say no to the constant digital noise from notifications that are just begging for your attention. And to say no to the perfection trap, allowing yourself the amazing freedom of good enough.
So once you've actually recharged, the goal isn't to just jump right back on that same old hamster wheel. No way. It's about integrating this wisdom into a new way of life. This is the big shift from a temporary retreat to the sustainable, long-term practice of slow living. First things first, we've got to understand what real rest actually is. It is not lying on the couch mindlessly scrolling through your phone. That just keeps your brain busy. Deep rest is true, intentional rejuvenation for both your mind and your body.
So how do you actually practice this deep rest? You can do it through mindful rituals, like actually tasting your food instead of just inhaling it, through active recovery, like some gentle stretching or meditation, and most importantly, by treating sleep not as some luxury, but as a sacred, non-negotiable contract you have with yourself.
And the final piece of the puzzle here is really changing your whole approach to growth. Forget the frantic sprints. Think of it more like slow cooking. Small, consistent, deliberate steps are so much more sustainable and, believe me, they will get you much further in the long run than those short, exhausting bursts of speed that just lead to collapse.
And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. This isn't about retreat. It's about building a stronger foundation. Taking this time to rest, to lie flat, is exactly what gives you the strength, the clarity, and the resiliency to stand taller and walk farther in the future, but this time on your own terms.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. This isn't about overhauling your entire life by tomorrow morning. It's about one small but powerful choice. What is the one no you will say today to start reclaiming your energy and honoring your own well-being?